Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. Recently I got a bag of bamboo fiber powder via Amazon and I am just been experimenting with it. And one recipe that I keep getting asked if I have tried is a recipe for a flour blend by Cook with Mel. She's another YouTube channel here. I will link her channel up in the cards. And she has a recipe for a flour blend that is nut-free, which I'm always excited about. And it's pretty high protein because the other ingredients in the flour blend besides the bamboo fiber is egg white powder, which is pure protein, chicken flour, which of course has lots of protein in it, almost pure protein because there's no fat really. And then gelatin powder, another protein. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix up her flour blend. She just has a bulk recipe. The bulk recipe calls for 3 cups of the chicken flour, which is a little more than 2 bags of the carnivore crisp flour. There are recipes out there to make your own meat flours. 2 Crazy Ketos have one, as well as Cook with Mel has one. So if buying 3 bags of the carnivore crisp flour is out of your price range, you totally can make your own if you have a dehydrator. I do have a discount code for Carnivore Crisps. You can get 10% off, so I will leave all that info down in the description as well. So I'm just gonna throw all of the ingredients together. And as always, if you want all of the exact measurements, go to Cook with Mel's recipe video and she has them all written down in the description. First off, of course, is the chicken flour, and that is the biggest ingredient in this recipe. I will also mention that she has some variations as well. So you can do like almond flour and different things instead of the chicken flour if you don't want to do that and you're all good with the almond flour. I want to take a quick moment to say thank you to Hiya for sponsoring today's video. Hiya is a brand of children's vitamins, and they are the vitamins that my kids take. It's really hard to find good children's vitamins on the market. A lot of them, when you turn them around and look at the ingredients, like the added ingredients, there's all kinds of junk and filler and sugar even. And if you start researching a little bit, you can find that a lot of the forms of the vitamins that they use are not even that great quality. And so even though it has, a certain number of milligrams or micrograms of a certain nutrient, it may not be very absorbable for your child's body, but Hiya was developed by parents who actually wanted something better than what they found on the market for their kids. And so they worked really hard to formulate it with the highest quality ingredients and the most absorbable forms of all the different vitamins. Hiya is offering all of you guys a special deal. You can get a 50% discount on your first order from Hiya. And on your first order, you get the cute little glass bottle that is refillable. So every month you get an eco-friendly bag of vitamins that you just empty into your cute glass bottle. So you don't have to throw away a plastic bottle every month. But you can get 50% off of your first order just by using my link. That's hiyahealth.com/indigo. Just go there and that'll automatically give you a 50% discount. Thank you so much to Hiya for sponsoring. And now back to the video. Bamboo fiber is next. And egg white powder. And last ingredient is the gelatin. Just gonna give this a stir to get everything incorporated, and then we will get going on her bread recipe. So that is looking nice and mixed up. So just to give you an idea, this one recipe of flour, if you're making the bread with it, it'll make about 1.5 loaves. So I'll make 1 loaf and then I'll have a little bit left over to play with in some other recipes. So for the bread, of course, we're gonna start with the clean keto flour. Next, I am going to add the egg whites. And I have to say, one thing I already love about this recipe is that you don't have to whip up the egg whites. You can just mix everything up in your bowl. I also love that Mel breaks everything down in her recipes by grams. Just so much more accurate that way and just less room for error. I also forgot to mention I already have my oven preheating, so that is going to be ready to go. Next ingredient is water, and again, I will have a link to the recipe video in the cards and in the description, and you'll be able to find the written ingredients with all the exact measurements. in her video and description. Melted butter and baking powder. And then the last ingredient is sweetener. She uses a monk fruit sweetener, which I don't have. And I didn't want to use allulose because that can change the browning effect so much. So I'm just going to use some pure stevia, just a teeny tiny bit, because this is the super pure, super potent stuff. Probably about a 1/16 of a teaspoon. Now I'm just going to get this all mixed up. I just love that you don't even have to use a KitchenAid mixer. You can just mix it by hand, throw the ingredients together. I love that. All right, there is my batter, and I have my pan ready to go. She uses a different kind of pan, which I don't have, so I'm just going to use my regular go-to with the parchment paper here and get this poured in. Since her pan was a little bit narrower, I'm expecting I'll get more of a flatter loaf, a wider, flatter loaf. Maybe it won't rise super, super high, but that will be fine. My oven is preheated, so that is perfect timing. And I'm gonna throw it in for the 50 minutes, and we will see what we get. This is ready to go in 50 minutes. So here is my bread. It looks like cornbread to me. It totally looks like cornbread. I actually attempted a cornbread recipe with the chicken flour at one point. Didn't turn out great, but I'm wondering if the addition of the bamboo fiber and the other ingredients is gonna make the consistency better. I am gonna pull it out of the pan here and let it cool a little bit before I give it a slice and we look at the inside texture. Ooh, look at that. All right. Okay, I am ready to give this a slice and see what the inside looks like. I like the amount of bubbles in there. Definitely giving me cornbread vibes. There's the inside texture. Give it a little rip. I can definitely smell the chicken. I mean, chicken flour is the main ingredient, and so definitely has like that savory, chickeny smell to it. There's a little bit of wetness. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's got kind of a squish to it, but it's not terrible. It's not like it's seeping liquid or anything. All right, I'm gonna give it a taste test here. I can definitely taste the chicken. It's got a very savory flavor. The texture is not too far off of cornbread. Of course, it doesn't have the corn sweetness factor to it. There's a tiny bit of sweet from that stevia that I put in, but not as much as you would probably have in a cornbread. But I can see, maybe adding a little bit of sweetness to this. I just wonder if the savory chicken flavor would end up not working with that. But the taste is not bad. I can see definitely using this as a cornbread, like with chili or like with a stew or something like that. I think it'd be really good. Just using it as a sandwich, I don't think I would do that just because it is pretty dense. I think it would just be too much for like a sandwich bread, just because of the density. So I'd want to have it with something that's like a sauce or a stew or a soup, but the flavor is actually really, really good. And I definitely see the possibilities for some kind of a cornbread aspect to this. So definitely a fun recipe to try. And I love how protein rich it is. I love that there's no nut flours in it. It's not 100% carnivore because of the bamboo fiber, but it is very, very low in carbs, both total carbs and net carbs. and very high in protein. So I love that. I just feel like I need to go make a soup or something right now to have with this. So thank you to Cook with Mel for the great recipe. Like I said, I will have the link to her video in the description and up in the cards. So check it out if you're interested. I will also have the Carnivore Crisp code down in the description if you're wanting to order some carnivore crisps or the carnivore crisp flour. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out in the kitchen with me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one.